Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our new session where we will understand how to crash a Product Sense interview. For cracking an interview, it's first essential to understand what Product Sense is. Product Sense and product managers consistently display a strong sense of the product. So let's move ahead with this session and understand how to crack a Product Sense interview. But before moving ahead, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you never miss an update from Simplilearn. So today we'll start this session with what is Product Sense and how to develop a Product Sense. Moving ahead, we'll understand the Product Sense interviews and how to gain Product Sense. Following that, we'll take a look at what a Product Sense interviewer is looking to see and some sample questions. And stick to the end because we will wrap this session by providing you with some tips to follow to crack the Product Sense interviews. So let's start with the session and understand what is Product Sense. Understanding a product's requirements is known as having product sense. One of the actual hard talents that good product managers should possess is product sense. It's a key element of product development and any product strategy. It is a crucial talent for designing goods with people in mind. A product's success depends on addressing consumer demands, and product sense is a form of foresight. Many businesses prioritize product sense while choosing individuals for PM positions. True product sense goes well beyond the design and user experience of the solution. One of the components of the product sense equation is anticipating the downsides and trade-offs of each product decision, and knowing which ideas to reject is also included in it. Understanding why a product would or wouldn't function is necessary, and Product Sense helps you identify the issues your product resolves and how to add new features that work similarly. The ability of PMs to understand products has long been mysterious. Now let's understand how to develop a Product Sense. Strong Product Sense is a quality that product managers consistently exhibit. They also provide value that meets client requirements while updating such items. Most product management use scenarios have this goal in mind. Though it is sometimes simpler said than done, improving revenue and profit margins may mean sacrificing these objectives. Product managers and leaders may improve this ability and develop their intuitive sense of user demands in a variety of ways. There are three components that make up Product Sense. Number one, compassion. This is the capacity to mimic several distinct personalities who are not like you in terms of their thought processes. Having the ability to state that in this circumstance, this sort of user will respond in this way, or to assert that our business partners would react in a certain way, or even that our rivals will see our move in a certain way. One crucial aspect of Product Sense is the ability to honestly do that well. Going above and beyond to get into users' shoes, into their thinking, and into their problems helps you develop a strong product sense. Talking to various people and partners is a definitive technique to increase your empathy. Don't just converse with them and accept what they tell you as you go about doing this. The most crucial component of developing this empathy is to try to understand why they are saying what they are saying. Although you won't always have the user in front of you to ask what would work, you may accurately forecast it by knowing why they feel or act the way they do. Number two, originality. The ability to think creatively and generate fresh solutions to a given circumstance or challenge is the most elusive but significant component of Product Sense. It is the responsibility of the product manager to specify the construction process. You may develop the key talent of creative thinking to do this. It might be a force multiplier to be able to come up with novel solutions to consumer issues. In addition to providing sensible answers, the top product managers also inspire innovation. After all, nothing has ever been constructed before without the use of creativity. Setting strategy, prioritizing new ideas, and putting them into practice all need creativity. And number three, domain knowledge. When you have a deep understanding of the industry you work in, ideas for what kind of product to create and how to create it will automatically come to you better and more accurately. To be more precise, I'd advise putting your attention on understanding your users and consumers, the competitors and what they're up to, and any opportunities or constraints presented by technology. Functional expertise is concerned with the product management process, whereas domain expertise is focused on the market. I contend that this is distinct from talents. The art of influencing is one such. Influencing is a crucial ability for PMs since they have a lot of responsibility and limited control over other people. The market, consumers, industry, opponents' products, and etc. are all part of the domain experience. Yes, some technical expertise is required, but the market is still the major concern. Otherwise, you run the risk of becoming technology driven, missing market possibilities, or misinterpreting client wants. Now, let's move on to the basic detailing of the Product Sense interview. Product interviews not only attain questions based on the product sense, but also analytical questions and case studies. In most cases, the Product Sense interviews hold on to the questions like: which is the product you like the most? Why do you like it? And what kind of improvements do you want to make to it? Or the interviewer can ask you about a particular product, maybe just like Google Maps. The interviewer can ask about how you would improve Google Maps and its services. The questions about actual products are occasionally included in the Product Sense interviews. A product's design and strategy might also be the basis for these inquiries. For example, what design principles would you use to create a YouTube clone app that runs in the background? Regardless of whether a product is digital or physical, the solutions for its design or marketing tactics always stay the same. PM interviews evaluate three key competencies: product sense, execution, and behavioral competencies. Every employer has a unique interview process, but they all assess the same fundamental competencies. Hard as it may be to admit, most interviewers need rapid thinking and responses. Quick thinking is facilitated by frameworks. Your interviewer for the execution is searching for if you can quantify what matters and apply analytics to make data driven judgments, if you can identify and balance various trade offs to make wise product selections, and if you can efficiently use your limited time and resources to have the greatest impact. Now let us understand what the interviewer is trying to see in you or trying to judge you on. The interviewer mostly asks you about the four things based on a product: context, prioritization, creativity, metrics. Context. The interviewer will ask you about the context of the problem statement. Do you get the context of the problem? Are you able to empathize with which context the product is going to be used? Who will be the users of the product? And what will be the difficulties the users will face with these particular products? How can we resolve such difficulties? And many more. Prioritization. Are you able to prioritize, from all the major points, segments, and use cases you have developed, the appropriate collection of segments and pinpoints, supporting your decisions with logic and data? Such questions are asked by the interviewer. Creativity. The interviewer will always want you to provide a creative solution for the problem statement, because this is where your ability to think of a creative solution to the problem and your ability to design comes into being. Metrics. The interviewer may ask if you can come up with the metrics against which you will judge your product intervention. Well, these are the four primary aspects around which the Product Sense interview will roam. The interviewer is going to check your ability to think, design, strategize, and create. The interviewer doesn't expect you to come up with a solution that will change the whole face or the product. They are typically trying to find out if you have the structure of the product based on the problems and their solutions in your mind. Before moving ahead, here's a question for you all. What is your favorite product and why? Do let us know in the comments below. Now let's know what makes a product manager gain a thriving product sense. Designing products training. Good PMs are familiar with design, and an MBA is beneficial. The subjects of product design and innovation are two of the favorites of usual PMs. Some used to create stuff and get feedback throughout several rounds. It might be challenging to take criticism on the job seriously and promptly. Case studies in marketing. Academically speaking, marketing includes products. Product, pricing, location, and promotion are the 4 Ps. The MBA program is a marketing masterclass, and in the case of study simulations, you compete against other teams, and in that way, you pick things up much more quickly. Hard skills. Great PMs need to influence without being in charge. These frequently involve knowledge of corporate operations, research techniques, and best practices in product management. Here, hard skills are crucial. Clubs, happy hours, and corporate outings make up half of the MBA. Your social abilities will significantly advance as a result. Network. In the field of product management, networking generally entails locating decision makers, significant stakeholders, influencers, and other experts and forming productive connections with them. Now, I know people who manage billion-dollar hedge, VC, and PE firms. And there's just no likelihood that, as a manager in technology, I would know these folks. Analyzing a problem related to metrics. Choosing the appropriate metrics to track and examine results in better informed choices being made throughout the product development process. These metrics provide the business with tangible proof of the components of the product or customer experience that are not connecting with customers. This data driven knowledge may be used by the product, marketing, and sales teams to better understand the drivers of their consumer profiles. The corporation uses this information to better its products going forward. Measuring impacts. The next stage is to express specifically what you expect this adjustment to accomplish once you have identified the relevant measurements. Goals that are SMART, or MT if you prefer, and make it obvious if they were achieved are good goals. Moving on, let's know what your Product Sense interviewer is looking to see. Can you clearly articulate who you are building for, why, and how it fits into the Meta mission? Can you provide thoughtful reasoning for why Meta should or should not focus on specific aspects of the broadest possible product opportunity at hand? Can you provide a thorough vision for your desired MVP experience to test out your hypothesis, as well as your desired end state for this product, say 3 years out? This comes down to concretely defining priorities and goals. Can you zoom out from your personal user needs and think about how this product could scale and provide maximum value to Meta's global user base of over 3 billion people? Product Sense interview questions will typically be in the form of one very deep hypothetical, what would you build for X, with a series of follow-up questions to understand your thought process. Let's now have a look at a few sample questions. The interviewer may ask you, how would you improve Instagram stories? Build a Facebook product for travel. How would you build Facebook Birthday if it weren't there? How can we improve Google Maps? Create a photo sharing app for Google. Build a music app for Facebook. Moving on, let's have a look at the tips that you may follow to crack the Sense interview. Knowing what the interviewer can ask, you should understand what aspect the interviewer is looking for in you. Adhere to the framework. The Product Sense interview is all about following the structural framework to provide an ethical and practical solution to the problem given to you. It's not every time about creativity. The solution should be more practical. The interviewer is majorly looking for your structural approach to provide the solution. Questioning. The approach is your interviewer's main area of emphasis. You are not required to respond as soon as you hear the question from the interviewer. It's acceptable to take a break and ask the interviewer a clarifying question if you're having trouble comprehending what is being asked of you. This will help you realize exactly what the interviewer needs to know. Even if you think you understand the question, you should nevertheless paraphrase it to make sure you're not missing any important details. Reiterate the structure you're going to use after a brief pause of 10 to 20 seconds. And give a layout while responding to the question so the interviewer can see your response more clearly. Research the firm and become acquainted with its main offerings. It's the firm that's hiring you, so at least they are going to ask you about their concerned product as well. Being familiar with their products will give you a vision of what exactly the company wants from you, and you will be able to structurize your opinions. So, before going for the interview, you must go through the company's background, its workings, and its products. Be versatile. Most interview discussions don't go as expected, so never impose a framework. By checking in with the interviewer regularly and stopping, you may make the dialogue casual and free-flowing. Define the product goal. Instead of using a statistic, define the product goal in terms of the customer problem. Metrics are only a way to measure progress. They are not the driving force behind product development. People's issues are resolved through products. For instance, Google Maps' objective is to assist users in navigating the world, not to boost the volume of route searches. What quality of a product makes it good or bad as per your experience with the products? Do let us know in the comments below. And thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button if you liked the video and stay tuned to Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.